be a little crazy, so bear with me, man. The Grizzlies are going to represent the Western Conference in the NBA Finals.
Woo!
Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
Did you hear that? We sorry for your eardrum.
Yeah,
that came through like.
I gotta repeat.
Yes.
Damn.
Yes, the Grizzlies are going to represent the Western Conference in the NBA Finals. Yeah.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of From the Sideline podcast. I'm your host, Troy, and I'm back with the boys. How you guys doing, man? I'm back in that house with Tighten Up.
Good.
What's up, Tighten Up? How you doing today, bro?
Already know, tighten up all day.
Tighten
The
up.
1C vibes.
Man, we got the Jets fan himself back in the building. GK, how you been, brother?
Yes, sir. What's up, everybody?
What's going on,
man? It's good to see you again. And you know, we got the Steelers fan hoping for the prayer,
man.
Praying right now, praying that Ben pull it off. Can you imagine if Ben win a championship his last year? He just ride off in the sense of ain't happening. But how you guys out there doing?
Movie worthy.
How you guys doing? So I just wanted to let you guys know that the little gift card thing is still going. So if you didn't hear the question in last episode, look forward in this episode. We got you guys. I want to give a special shout out to our one listener out in Canada. Thank you, bro. We appreciate you, bringing us over that international. I mean, you kind of close, but we appreciate it. All right, we got some listeners over there on Apple Podcasts, man. Shout out to you guys for listening on Apple Podcasts, man. Don't forget to rate us over there. And then you guys on YouTube, man, that's supporting us, man. Day ones, man. Look out for this question, man. We're trying to get back to you guys. Without further ado, let's get into the show, man. The playoffs start tomorrow. We're here. Like, we are here. So we got to get back into these games. And we got to start off with GK being back in the building. GK, like I said last week, we kind of did our predictions. Frank was here. So give us your predictions, but also tell us, who you think this game is more important for to win. And we're going to start out with the Raiders versus the Bengals.
So I like the Bengals to win. Just because, to me, I feel like there's more cohesion offensively. I know the Raiders have been looking pretty good, but just as like their core, I just feel like Joe Burrow is not struggling nearly as much as I've seen the Raiders struggle. But I think in terms of who's it more important to win, in terms of the franchise, I think it's more important for the Raiders to probably win, even though the Bengals are the favorite, because this is kind of like the Bengals' first year where like they're really firing on all cylinders. So, I think they've basically exceeded expectations at this point for them in their season. But, we've seen Derek Carr and Josh Jacobs and Waller all together for several years now, So I feel like it's time for them to like see like, all right, can you guys do it or not?
Agreed.
Versus the Bengals where it's like their first time. So like there's probably still a lot of room for improvement. Not to say that there's not for the Raiders, but their window is closing probably in terms of their fan base and their owner, like saying like, hey, like we got to see what's up now,
Yeah, and that one I would probably say I would take the Bengals, but Joe Shiesty, hard to bet against that man. That man's dangerous. But it is more important for the Raiders to win this because I think this is a big legacy question for Derek Carr because we all love Derek Carr. Back when his team was making the playoffs and then he got that injury. And there's been questions around whether is he going to keep staying in Oakland or are they going to get rid of him after this year? It depends how he does here. This is his legacy. So, it depends on all the pressure's on him. I don't think the Bengals are coming in with any pressure at all. So, but I still think the Bengals take the cake.
Frank, who you think more important? Who's more important for?
To be honest, you guys, I might have to say the importance level is about equal, to be honest. I understand. Just look at everything that Las Vegas had to go through with their coaching, with the rug situation, with the ownership. There's been a lot of turmoil and a lot of reasons for the Las Vegas Raiders not to
and
make
moving
the
the team.
playoffs.
Yeah.
Exactly, and moving the team and moving your
Yeah.
whole fan base. There were so many reasons for them to just not make the playoffs, for them to there were so many opportunities for those guys to just fold and pack it all in and just worry about the next season. But those guys still preserved, and they still gave themselves a chance to be in contention amongst the elite in the end. And it's still, and I would look at the Cincinnati Bengals like they have a chance to totally change the perception of how everybody looks at the Cincinnati Bengals with this win. True. I mean, granted, the team is young, but let's just say for sake, Las Vegas does lose. No, we're not going to look at this season as a lost season for Las Vegas if they lose. If anything, I mean, we kind of expect them. We kind of expect them to lose already. So they're really playing with house money. If they've, for them to have gotten this far is in itself is already it's a good trait in itself. So now the pressure turns to Cincinnati with those young guys. They have the opportunity to really change exactly how everybody looked at the Cincinnati Bengals, how everybody looked at them for all those past years. A lot of these guys, majority of these guys, they weren't here. They didn't have to endure everything that those previous Cincinnati Bengals had to endure. So they're playing with the utmost confidence. They're playing with house money as well. They're division champs. I mean, if those guys lose right here, I think it will be more disappointing. It would be more disappointing. But the importance level, I think, is about equal, because this is at the same time for Derek Carr. This is his opportunity to prove that he deserves that max contract, because he's still playing for a big contract, and it's his turn to prove that he can be that franchise person, that franchise quarterback for this team going forward as they continue to build pieces around them and build that team up to hopefully a legit Super Bowl contender. I think it has to start with Derek Carr. So the pressure is equally on both sides, in my opinion.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Frank, but I would say I lean the scale a little bit towards the Raiders because what they went through this season. But sticking with you, Frank, let's go on to the New England and Buffalo game. Who is that game more important for?
It's more important. I'll go back just like I said with the Cincinnati Bengals. I think the importance level is about equal. It comes down between Bill Belichick. This is his time. This is his time to actually prove that he can win without Tom Brady. This is his best chance to prove that he can win without Tom Brady. And on the Buffalo Bills side, this is Josh Allen's time to prove that he's actually an elite quarterback and ready to take that next step to be mentioned amongst the Tom Brady's and the Patrick Mahomes and the Aaron Rodgers. This is his time to prove that he can actually get there. I myself am not big on the Buffalo Bills. I haven't really been big on them. You guys know throughout the year that I haven't been big on them. Granted, I still think that they shouldn't have lost that windy game against the Patriots earlier in the season. But I think I'm going towards a lot of upsets this first round, this wild card round. So, and this is one of my upset games. I'm going with the Patriots.
I think I'm gonna go ahead and go with, I would probably take the Bills, but I mean, I'm not saying that in full confidence at all. Being 100% honest with you, I am not confident in that pick, just because this Bills team has underperformed and underachieved in almost every way, and it's really shocking to say that, because going into this year, we thought this was a team that's the Super Bowl favorite, especially coming out the AFC. I mean, we were putting them above the Chiefs. I mean, plenty of people were. And then this whole entire regular season, it's just been underperform on both sides of the football. So it's like, I don't know, you lose your starting cornerback, who's an all-star. I mean, phenomenal player. Yep. Yeah, you lose him. I mean, I think the pressure is on Buffalo, though. I mean, I think the Patriots, the fantastic season. No one expected them to be where they are. I mean, and they're there. I mean, yes, the Bill Belichick, winning without Brady, that is important. Don't get me wrong. But I think on the Bills, this reflects on them as a whole entire unit. I'm seeing just how can they change that whole, are we just a regular season team? This is the time for them to change that narrative around.
Okay.
Yeah, I like the Patriots to win. I know the Bills are at home and they're favored. I just feel like the last time they played in Buffalo, Bill Belichick showed everybody that he's still the bigger brother amongst them. He literally threw the ball how many times?
Yep. Three times.
Three
Yeah.
attempts,
Three
I think.
times.
He only had to throw the ball 3 times and won, and he just won in the trenches. And I'm pretty sure it's probably going to be pretty cold. So I just think I think the Patriots are going to come out on top. I think they play better in the trenches, and they're just smarter. Although I don't sleep on McDermott, I do think he's really smart. That's one of the Bills' strengths. I also think that it's more important for the Bills to win, in my opinion, because it's, I believe, either year 3 or 3/4, let's say, of them kind of being a cohesive unit and in their systems. And, so even based on their personnel, they're a lot better personnel wise than the Patriots. So the fact that they've been together for longer, their personnel is more talented. And like you guys were saying with Josh Allen, like everybody wants to see if he's that dude, right? So I think there's a lot more pressure on them, because like let's say the Patriots lose, people aren't going to be like, oh, they need to like do something about it, something significant. They're going to be like, oh no, like Mac Jones's first year, they don't have that much talent. Bill and Josh McDaniels showed that like they're still, when they're together, they're still, making a difference, and they're going to at least make the playoffs. So I feel like no matter what happens with their outcome, you're still optimistic. But if the Bills are one and done and drop in the first round of the playoffs, then people might start to question, like, can they get over that hump if they haven't by now? Or, if they can't again next year, then they might have to like blow something up.
And that's the way I was going with it. I think it's a little bit more important for Buffalo to win this game because of all the questions that surround them. They're supposed to be a top team, and I mean they struggled this season to get to 11-6. I mean, if we're being realistic about it. But staying with UGK, Philly and Tampa.
So Tampa, I believe, is an 8.5-point favorite.
Yes, they are.
And honestly, I know I said earlier in the year, like them and the Packers are probably the 2 scariest teams. Like if I was a playoff team, I don't want to face either one of those teams. But that being said, I do think that Philly has a chance to win because their run game is so good.
Man.
Their run game is
early
really
morning
good.
for the
hot
take.
Look at the Jets formula. Remember, the Jets almost beat them, and it was because they ran the ball well and they control the clock. And what does Philly do well? They run the ball well and they can control the clock because their offensive line is elite. And on their defensive line, they only rush 4 and they play zone. They rarely ever blitz. And the formula to beat Tom Brady for the past 20 years is rush 4. And if you can get penetration with 4, then you can beat them. So when you look at it like that, I give the Eagles a chance for sure. But then when you look at everything else, it's like, all right, who's more likely to turn over the ball, Tom Brady or Jalen Hurts? And like, of course, there's all that other things. That's the obvious, and that's why they're the 8.5-point favorites. But I still do think that the Eagles do have a chance to upset. It's definitely more important for the Bucs to win, though, because me personally, I didn't even think the Eagles were going to make the playoffs. I actually had a futures bet that they weren't going to make the playoffs. So the fact that they did, they already exceeded expectations. So if they lose, I don't think it's a big deal. I think see like, oh, okay, Jalen Hurts could possibly be the guy. Like they're looking on the up and up. Like Sirianni's first year as a coach or whatever. Like, oh, okay, maybe this guy's decent. Like across the board, I feel like they've exceeded expectations, and their fans should be optimistic. So if they lose, it's no big deal. If the Bucs lose, it's kind of a big deal if they're 1 and done.
Correct. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is I think I have the Bucs winning this. I mean, I don't think it'll be a blowout. I don't think it's going to be as lopsided as some people might think it'd be. But I don't know. I really do think the pressure is on Tampa Bay. Like like exactly what GK said when it comes to Philly. They've exceeded expectations. I didn't expect them to make playoffs either. I don't think a lot of people did. So they're playing just how Frank likes to say. They're playing with house money, and they exactly are. So, I do think they have a chance to win this game. It's not a high chance, but they have a chance. But I think the Bucks are going to go ahead and take this one and move forward. Because if they lose this, you guys will never hear the end of it. I'm saying social media will blow up. The news outlets, SportsCenter will lose their minds. So I don't know. I think the pressure's on Tampa Bay.
Well, just one more thing is I forgot to mention is if Tampa goes up like 2 scores early, like in the first half, and the Eagles have to just throw the ball to catch up, they're not going to – I don't think they can do that. But if they can stay within one possession and be able to run throughout the whole duration of the game, then that's when they have their chance.
Mm-hmm. I think it's going to be an ugly one. I will agree that if they do lose, if the Buccaneers do happen to lose to the Philadelphia Eagles, I think it will by far be the biggest upset of the year, the biggest upset of the playoffs. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just it would be catastrophic. I don't think it'll affect Tom's career, but it'll definitely put a big dent in his career at the end.
But wait, will that be a bigger upset than the Chiefs if the Steelers beat the Chiefs?
No. It's by far, it will have to be the Eagles. That would be the biggest upset. Look, the Buccaneers are getting everybody back on defense. They're getting Shaq Barrett back. They're getting Devin White back. Vita Vea, he didn't play last week, so he had an extra week to get ready for the playoffs. They're going to come in motivated. And then you got Tom Brady with everything that's been going on with AB and everything surrounding him, and he's probably going to get skunked for the MVP. So that's just throwing more fuel to the fire. So Tom Brady is going to come out extra motivated, extra ready TB12 and straight TB12, ready to dominate mode. I expect this one to get ugly early because I do think that that's exactly how I think it's going to go, GK. I think the Patriots are going to get. The Buccaneers are going to get up 2 touchdowns. They're going to force Jalen Hurts to have to use his legs and use his arms to beat that defense. And to be honest, and as far as the NFC, I think the Buccaneers might have the best front seven of all the teams in the playoffs. And just speaking on just talent and consistency wise, and then they got the coaching staff as well. So I just think that it's going to be real ugly I expect it to get real ugly for Philly.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you're right. I think Tom's going to want to win by 50 so that he's like, listen, like, this is what it's like.
We don't need AB to prove that he can do it without those guys.
Staying with you, Frank. Let's move on to the San Francisco and Dallas game. Who is that more important for?
Woo! It's definitely more important for the Dallas Cowboys and for Dak Prescott and that whole organization. They're one of the teams who really can't afford to lose in the first round. But this is by far the toughest matchup of the first round because it can go either way. And you just don't know what you're going to get from the 49ers on offensive wise. Like if they have one of those games where Jimmy G is clicking and Deebo Samuels, he's being effective out the backfield and he's being effective as a receiver, and then everything is clicking and they have the opportunity to actually move the ball and create some points and keep that offense on the sideline. I think it can definitely go down. I think it's going to go down to the wire. I'm trusting Dak, but that Dallas Cowboys team is going to have to show some resemblance of a run game. Zeke is going to have to play some type of big of a factor. Like he's going to be a huge factor in this game because when they rush for 100, Dak doesn't have to do it too much. He doesn't have to throw all of those extra passes. He's not put in all of those pressure situations. But when you can't run the ball and then you have Dak Prescott out there, then the receivers aren't always on the same page. Amari Cooper is like inconsistent in my eyes. He catches a touchdown, but what is he doing throughout the rest of the game, really? I mean, he can give you a 2-touchdown game, but most of the time he's invisible out there. So I'm going with the Cowboys, but it's definitely one of the toughest games of the weekend.
I think it's definitely a tough
one. Let's kick it to GK, Roy.
Good.
So I agree basically with everything Frank said. I think it's definitely more important for the Cowboys to win. And I do think the Cowboys will win. I do think it will be close. And honestly, I think the 49ers needed to be close. They needed to stay within a 1-possession game or to play with the lead because for them, it's all about playing everything out of the run game. And I think if they have to play catch up, then their chances are not good. Versus Dallas, who I think can either play with the lead, play in a one possession game, and they can catch up. So I think they're more well equipped for no matter what happens in the game, because even if they're down 10 in the second half, I still like Dak having a better chance to play catch up than I like Jimmy G.
Agreed. Same there.
And talent wise, I think the Cowboys are better. But for the 49ers, it's all about the trenches. It's all about their front seven and their run game, because they want to get the run going. They want to control the clock. But I feel like even if they're successful to do that, if Dak has the ball last and they're only down one possession, like I like them to actually score. So almost in every scenario, I have the Cowboys coming out. So,
Roy, can I ask you really quick?
Go ahead.
Who you think has the most pressure coaching wise? Is it Kyle Shanahan or is it Mike McCarthy?
I would say Mike McCarthy. I think this is a hot seat for Mike McCarthy. I think that, there's a lot of questions surrounding him and whether was he successful because back when he was in Green Bay, he had Aaron Rodgers, or is this because, is he a good coach? Because I mean, him and Rodgers didn't really end on too good of terms. So, I mean, it's really questionable to see, was Aaron Rodgers right? Kind of questioning Mike McCarthy while his time over in Green Bay. I don't know. I think Kyle Shanahan, I love Kyle Shanahan. I think he's a mastermind. He finds a way to get the job done. I mean, I think that's why I'm kind of leaning into the 49ers winning this one, to be honest with you. I think that this Cowboys team has, as good as talent-wise they are, I still think they've kind of underperformed in a certain way. So I just think that the 49ers team is very inconsistent, but this 49ers team has wins against top teams. They have beat the Rams twice. A lot of people don't even try to look past that. I mean, this team, they've shown they can win. They're just not consistent. So I think if they can get it done here, and this 49ers team is hungry for these Cowboys, man, because all the talks around the Cowboys and how good they are. So, you don't think the 49ers and Shanahan's going to come out and be ready to play? I think so. Pressure is on the Cowboys. It's on Dak, because I mean, like I said, this is Dak's legacy we're getting into here. Can he have this good team playing good in regular season, come in the playoffs, get bounced first round? I don't know. It's tough. That defense for the Cowboys definitely going to help them out tremendously. So we'll just have to see how it goes.
Agreed. I agree with you. Let's stick with you, Roy, man. I had to get you first on this one. Pittsburgh versus Kansas City. I had to, bro. I couldn't let the opportunity slip. What's going on?
Yes,
all right. This podcast is gonna be 8 hours long. It's an all-day event.
Chiefs next game.
Right. Chiefs next game.
All right. So I think I understand. I get it. I get all the talk, man, but I really do think that this Steelers team does have a chance. And, coming from a fan perspective, okay, but look, this is a team of destiny, man. Ben even comes out and says, we don't have a chance. Ben's coming. This is your starting quarterback coming out and saying, we don't got a shot. We're not even a good football team. Out of the 14 teams, and we're number 14. I mean, he's not lying. He's right. Let's be honest with each other. But sometimes, the miracles happen. This is a team that deserves a 30 for 30 if they go to win the Super Bowl. I mean, Ben's last year, all the motivation. I think Ben was doing a reverse psychology bit on them, saying, "Oh yeah, that inspires the young guys."
Nobody believed it. Nobody believed what Ben was doing.
So be it. They didn't believe us. They said we were going to take last in the division. Here we are. They said we won't make playoffs. Here we are. And they say we're going to get bounced first round, probably. But you know what? It's all good. So I think the pressure's on the Chiefs, obviously. The Steelers are playing with house money. We're not even supposed to be here. We're not really a good football team. So, but I think the Steelers have a chance.
Okay.
I guess I agree with Roy basically, except for them having a chance part. But
no chance. That's what you got.
I mean, probably just the only way I could see it playing out in my head is if the Steelers defense can just somehow shut down the Chiefs offense. I do think the Steelers could probably score, but they just have so many deficiencies. Like, they can't protect the passer and they can't run the football. So Ben's going to have to throw 50 times and complete like 40 passes. Like, they probably know that too. So like, are they going to be able to do that? I don't know. there's a chance, I guess he could, but is there a probability that he's going to? No. So Chiefs are gonna win. Yeah.
All right, Frank, when you go, I want you to talk about this Pittsburgh, Kansas City, but then after that, I want you to start us off with the Arizona Rams game. Take it over.
I got you.
Take it over.
All right, look. This Pittsburgh game, I'm trying to tell you guys, I'm warning you right now, this Pittsburgh game is going to be tricky for at least 3 quarters.
Yeah.
3 quarters is gonna tell the whole story, because if everybody is so high on the Chiefs, but you have to remember they still have inconsistencies on their offensive line. The Pittsburgh Steelers defense and their defensive line and their pass rush is peaking at its highest. They're at their highest point at right now. Energy wise, momentum wise, just playing together, unity wise, the way they've been holding these teams under 20 points the last couple games. I mean, it's just so motivating watching those guys, because I told you it all started from that win from the Titans. That win against the Titans, it showed them that when they're focused, when they're focused at the task at hand, they can beat some of those good teams. I myself consider the Titans one of those elite teams. Just for this year, at least for this year, they're amongst some of the elite. And the Pittsburgh Steelers winning, and they handled us. They handled us like I said, and they used it. Granted, they lost the next week, but then
the Chiefs,
it's all motivation.
36-10.
But that's what I'm saying. That might haven't seen them already earlier in the season.
Yeah,
that might help them out in as far as preparing. And I trust Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin is a great coach. He's just like Andy Reid. I trust both of those guys, especially when it comes to the playoffs. Mike Tomlin is one of those coaches who you don't want to have to coach against. And him and Bill Belichick. That's why I say that game with the Patriots is so scary, because coaching-wise, if it comes down to coaching decisions, I actually trust Mike Tomlin to make the right coaching decisions late in the game, late in the crunch time. And if the Steelers can show some resemblance of a run game, because that Chiefs defense is not super consistent. I mean, granted, they are getting Jones back for the playoffs,
right?
But you can still run on those guys. You can still pass on. And Pittsburgh got the receivers. They got the big physical receivers to compete with any secondary. Really, it's just about whether they can buckle down mentally and just focus on the task at hand and take it one play at a time. If they can take it one play at a time and just make it an ugly 3 quarters for those guys, Patrick Mahomes is going to give you a chance to mess up. He's gonna give you an opportunity. So you just got to be able to take those opportunities whenever he give it to you. Try to make it an ugly game for him. And I think it's going to go down to the wire. I go with the Chiefs winning, but if it's an ugly game late in the 4th quarter, all bets off the table.
Arizona game?
Now, Arizona and the Rams. This is another tricky one, because, like I said 2 weeks ago, Derek Carr and Matt Stafford was the 2 quarterbacks who I was looking forward to seeing in the playoffs the most, who I thought had the most to prove coming this upcoming, at least this first round of the playoffs. And I still think that's the case. I mean, I don't really have too much faith in Arizona. I mean, I don't think that they can create enough points offensively to be effective against those guys. Come crunch time, especially with no D-Hop being there. I know you got AJ Green and the other guy, but I don't think that'll be enough, especially against that pass rush and that front seven with Von Miller and Aaron Donald. This is Matt Stafford's chance, just like Josh Allen, to prove whether he's elite, or whether those couple years that he had in Detroit weren't solely on him, were fluke years as far as what his career and his legacy will be. Like, he has an opportunity to completely change his legacy and how people look at him as a quarterback. This is their best opportunity. They're one of the teams who are in win now mode. This team is built to win right now. This is not a team that can go into the offseason and retain pieces. I don't see Odell being there past this year, to be honest. But yeah, so the pressure is definitely highest on Sean McVay and Matt Stafford. It's up to those 2 guys to get it done for this Rams team.
Yeah, I mean that's a great point, man. I really think that I think this is going to be a close one. I think the Rams are going to go ahead and win this one. But like how you said about Stafford pressure, I mean he has the most pressure out of anyone in this whole entire playoffs. I think that's a given because this is I know I've been mentioning legacy, but this is his legacy. This is the most important time in Matt Stafford's life. It really is, because he has a stats, just doesn't have anything to back it up. So, I mean, here's his time to come out and prove it. I think the Rams take this one because Cardinals don't really impress me anymore. They kind of struggling a little bit. So I think pressure's on the Rams, but I do think the Rams will pull it out.
Okay.
GK, can I ask you real quick? Do you think a loss for the Cardinals is going to put Cliff Kingsbury on the hot seat?
That's a really good question. I think people might be asking that question, but ultimately I don't think like he's going to get fired. No. Mm-hmm. But they basically had a meltdown. They lost 4 out of the last 5, right? They lost to the Seahawks, the Colts, the Lions, and the Rams.
Yeah.
They beat Dallas only by 3, and they only scored 25 in that game. They gave up 38 points to the Seahawks, 22 to the Colts, 30 to the Lions, and 30 to the Rams.
Good.
So it's not good. It's not good. They need James Conner.
Yeah.
They need to be able to run the ball, which they're not good at doing anyway, even with him. So them not being able to run, and then plus with Kyler being injured, he's not able to use his legs as much. And they haven't been using him in the red zone like he used to use his legs more. He hasn't been doing that. So I think it's, come winter time, I guess it just seems like they don't know what to do. So
who you got?
It's okay. So I have the Rams winning.
Okay.
But in terms of who's more important to win, I almost have it neck and neck because of the reasons that I just went over with Frank, but also on the other side with Stafford, like we were saying, it's like, all right, man, like here's your chance to show the world like that you are who you're supposed to be, and you've always been held back by being on one of the worst franchises in the league. The only problem I have with that is I think the Rams defense is severely overrated.
Ooh, hot take.
Hot take.
Overrated.
DK with the hot takes today.
Like, just because they have superstars in Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald, right? 2 of the best at their position, arguably number 1 at their position in the league. But the whole rest of the other 9 guys like are not good. So, yeah. So, I could see the Cardinals throwing and scoring 30, and then the Rams might struggle. But
really quick to in their defense, they did hold that 79ers team to 0 points in that first half. Like, I mean, they did their job that first half. I mean, it was really on Matt Stafford to really close the door on that game.
Yeah.
The defense really pretty much did, especially going on late into the season. You don't really want to have your defense to really play in the third and the fourth quarter. If they don't really have to, you got a chance to really put the hammer on them at halftime or in the third quarter. That Matt Stafford got to hold some weight for that, especially for that last game specifically.
No, for sure. They've been holding teams to good scores their past month or so. And ultimately, I do think they're going to win. So
yeah.
All right, man. That's the playoffs, man. Can't wait till they start and be tuned in. I know you guys are going to be tuned in, and we'll be back here next episode talking about the games because we're going to be excited to see who won, who's moving on, who the Titans play, who Green Bay play, if the Bucks are still there, if the Chiefs are still there, how far the Steelers go.
Pittsburgh, I'm calling it.
Let's move on to the next segment of the day. And it's becoming one of those favorites. We still got some work to do on it, but it's the segment called "What Do You Know?" So basically how it works is I'm going to ask a question. You guys give me the answer. All right. If you don't know the answer, we move on to the next one. All right. Just like that. You don't gotta
Sounds
wait for
good.
me to call your name.
Right.
If you know the answer, just tell me the
Right.
answer.
Gotcha.
All right.
Gotcha.
So I'm gonna start off with the first question. And GK, I word my questions a little difficult for people to understand, and it's for a reason. Okay. All right. First question. In the 2000 All-Star game, the Eastern Conference had how many first-time All-Stars?
Repeat the question.
In the 2000 All-Star game, the Eastern Conference had how many first-time All-Stars? How many people were on?
Five.
You say 5. Would you say, Frank? 6? GK?
Well, let me ask first, how many people make the All-Star team? 12 or?
I think it's 12.
Yeah.
11 or 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I say 5.
I'm gonna go high and go with like 8.
Oh, okay.
No,
What's
it
the
was
answer?
7. It was.
Oh,
It was
we all
AI.
missed.
It was AR, Vince Carter, Ray Allen.
I knew it was a lot.
Al Houston, Jerry
wow.
Stackhouse, Dell Davis, and Glenn. I didn't write his last name, so I forget. All right, next question.
Glenn Robinson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next question. Which the Titan fans should get. All right.
Talk to me nice. Talk to me
Eddie
nice.
George. Eddie George is the Titans rushing leader with how many yards?
Who?
Oh shit.
He was hype. He was hype for that.
There's no easy questions over here, all right?
But he's not the Russian leader no more.
Well, when I looked it up, who
Henry
was
is the
the
Russian
Russian leader for overall
See,
yards?
you love hitting me with these misleaders.
Hey, listen.
But
Google said this was the answer, all right?
I couldn't even tell you, to be honest.
You giving up? You could give
I want
up.
to say 8,000.
I give up.
How much you say?
8,000.
8,000?
I feel like it's less than that.
It's like 6. Like
I would
6,000, 7,000.
The correct
I'll
answer
say
is
650.
The correct answer is 10,009.
Damn, never mind. I was off.
Yeah, disrespect.
Next question.
I apologize, Eddie George, for the disrespect. Man. I'm sorry.
Wait, how many did you think, Frank?
You said 7, right?
6 or
I
7.
said 6. I know he got hurt a lot, so that's what I'm saying. I was trying to think
answer is
how
10?
many years.
10,009.
Yeah, no, Derrick Henry hasn't broken 7 yet.
Yeah.
Okay. So next question. I am an NBA executive president who was drafted by the Dallas Cowboys in 1967.
An NBA executive president, meaning like president of a team?
Drafted by the Cowboys. What year drafted by the Cowboys?
1967.
Oh, damn.
Oh my God.
That's a minute.
Told you these ain't easy.
No, they are not.
Right,
You did not take it easy.
No, ain't no taking it easy on
I
these.
had the nerve to consider myself a basketball head.
Yeah. How
Give
dare
up?
we?
Y'all can give up.
Yeah,
Hold on,
I
hold on.
give up.
Yeah, I give up. I don't know.
I give up.
Shit.
All right, consensus is giving up. GK, you giving up?
I'll throw Mark West out there. Just continue. Go ahead.
Yeah, I give up.
Pat Riley.
I did not know he was drafted.
What?
Damn.
I didn't know he was a multi-sport athlete in college.
I didn't know that either.
Get out of here.
All right, next question. I was drafted in the second round, 45th overall in the 2008 draft by the Spurs.
Okay. That is
2008, second round, 45th overall.
Ginobili?
No. That's a nice answer, though. Just let me know if y'all give up, man.
Patty Mills.
No.
No, he's too young.
Yeah.
Come on, Frank.
Second round.
Oh, I'm pondering.
Why are we staring at your chest?
Can you give us another clue?
Yeah. Can you throw one little sprinkle on there?
Doesn't play for the Spurs.
But he's still playing?
Yeah. Currently active, but not playing.
Oh, yeah. You lost me.
Matt Bonner.
Nope.
Oh, that's a good one.
I
didn't even think about that.
Blue.
George Hill?
No. Answer is Goran Dragic.
Oh, Dragic.
I knew.
Okay. Next question. My rookie year stats. 30.5 points, 10.1 rebounds, 9.7 assists, and I shot 47.3%. I will give you guys a hint. This guy does not play today. He is an old
Magic.
No, but he had one of the best rookie seasons in the NBA. It's not Magic.
Oscar?
Oscar is correct. GK gets a damn thing correct.
Damn.
Come on, G. Come
At
on,
least somebody
G.
got something right. All right, shout out GK.
Shout out
Got something
GK.
right. At least we ain't hopeless.
All right, we got five
Wow.
more. All right. So next question. I hold the most touchdowns record in the NFL, which is 23. He is a wide receiver.
Jerry Rice.
Randy Moss.
Randy Moss is correct.
Damn. Jerry Rice has
There we go.
Jerry Rice has like every record except for that one.
All right. Next
That was with
question.
the Pats, 2007.
I didn't write the year, I forget, but I think so.
Oh, okay, that's good.
In my rookie season, I finished the year with 44,051 yards, 21 touchdowns, with 706 rushing touchdowns, and 14 rushing. In my rookie season, I finished the year with 4,051 yards, 21 throwing touchdowns, with 706 rushing touchdowns.
Baker
rushing
Mayfield?
yards with 14 rushing touchdowns. Baker Mayfield is not the correct answer.
Hell. Yeah, 14 rushing touchdowns. Is it Cam Newton?
Cam Newton.
I'm giving it to GK because Frank, you answered already.
I got you. Respectfully. I went for GK as a win for the team. You know?
Yeah,
At least we on the road now.
It was Cam Newton. Cam Newton had an amazing rookie year.
Mhm.
All right, next question. I hit 7 game winners, 6 with the team I won 1 title with, and my last I called game.
Paul Pierce.
Paul Pierce.
Paul Pierce is correct. GK is on fire.
Damn. You call bank? You call back boy? I call game.
I call game. All right. 2 more. All right. I'm the first of 2 people to run for 99 yards, which is the longest rushing touchdown in NFL.
Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry.
The second guy to do it was Derrick Henry.
Oh shit, the first one.
Herschel Walker.
No.
Oh, that's a good guess.
Wait, say the question.
Say the whole. Let me. All right. I'm the first guy out of 2 people to run for 99 yards, which is the longest rushing touchdown in NFL
Adrian
history.
Peterson.
The second guy to do it was Derrick Henry. Who was the
Peterson?
first?
Boys.
No.
He was a Cowboy.
Was he a Cowboy? Can I get that hint?
Yeah, he played for the Cowboys.
Wait, no, I think we need.
Smith.
Is he retired?
Who's before Emmitt Smith?
Retired.
He's before Smith.
Yeah, he was.
Did he play in the
Emmitt
90s?
Smith.
I'm not answering that. Y'all figure it out.
I'm
He
not
played in
answering
the
that.
90s.
Is it Michael Turner?
No.
He got traded. I think he might have got traded
Y'all
from
give
the
up?
Cowboys.
Y'all give
Wait.
up?
Yeah.
Is it Terrell Pryor?
Say it.
No.
Nope. Nah, it's he old. He
It's
played
Tony
in the
Dorsett.
early 90s. Tony
Oh.
Dorsett. That's what I'm trying to say.
Damn.
Last question.
Come with the job.
Last question.
I
In the
knew
Christmas
it,
game, I rushed for the most rushing touchdowns in a game.
Alvin Kamara.
Alvin Kamara.
GK is on
Damn.
the roll.
I had him on my fantasy team then too. I was so
GK
hyped.
got 4 questions right. Frank got 1. See?
I got 0.
See, I knew you guys would get around to it. So while we at this break, let me get this out the way. So we are doing a giveaway. All right. So you guys have a chance to enter to win a gift card. The way you do it is, if you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe, like the video, then go to our Instagram, follow us on Instagram, find the picture that says 18. We're going to keep that. Find the picture that says 18, which is our 18th episode where we originally dropped the question at. You have to comment the answer to this question under that picture. The first one that has the correct answer wins the gift card. Now, the question is, I won my only MVP after one guy won 2 back-to-back. Now, if you got the correct answer, go over to Instagram and get the answer on that picture, all right? But moving on to NBA hot topics, man. Frank, I thought you said you had something you wanted to talk to us about. What you got?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I got some hot and spicy NBA takes for you fellas. Some things I've been noticing around the league. I want to get your take on. Zion Williamson. What's going on with him and everything going on in the big NO down there? Could we be seeing could we be seeing the beginning of the last days of Zion over in New Orleans? Let me give you a couple of reasons why. All right, number one, we'll start off on draft night. I don't know if you guys remember or if you noticed Zion, his facial expression when he noticed that he got drafted by the New Orleans Pelicans. It wasn't of a number one draft pick who's excited to start his NBA career and his superstardom in a place like New Orleans. That was a telling take off the rip. Number two, we all know lately he's been in Portland over there training and rehabbing. Mm-hmm. But however, hot take, he's not rehabbing with New Orleans medical staff. However, they're supervising him training, they're supervising his rehabbing. However, Zion has his own staff, his own personal staff, because there have grown some trust issues between him and the medical staff. And it's sort of been giving off Kawhi Leonard vibes.
Yeah.
I was starting to see the trust issues that they had over there, which wind up leading to Kawhi Leonard wind up leaving San Antonio. That was just the foundation of everything that started to go wrong was with the medical staff. Zion has been upset with his medical staff. His family has been on record that they're not happy with the organization. They want Zion to leave and go elsewhere. They prefer him to finish his career somewhere else. And could Zion be one of the first athletes to turn down a Supermax? I mean, with all his endorsements off the court, his ability to create the revenue off the court, he can be in a situation like an Anthony Davis where he can turn down a Supermax contract or try to eat his way out of New Orleans to get into a better situation. I'm thinking maybe he might want to relocate in New York now that Cam Reddish is there, where James Barry might be seeing a Duke reunion over there in New York. If they can possibly pull some things off where people think Zion actually should have been drafted, he should have got drafted to the Knicks. That would have been great for Zion. That would have been great for the city of New York. That would have been great for Julius Randle because now he doesn't have to be the number one guy. Those guys' styles somewhat are similar to each other. I think they fit better than him and Brandon Ingram. So you guys give me your take on what you guys are seeing and what you guys are noticing over in New Orleans.
New Orleans, man.
First, start, Roy. I want to see GK. What you got?
Yeah.
You're making one of those faces. You know, when I see the faces,
I saw it too. I saw it.
I got to kick it to you.
When he's talking about getting drafted, like, listen, New Orleans is probably the number 2 city in America for food. So it doesn't look like he minds living there. Right? But that being said, the combination of the two things kind of makes sense that he probably don't want to be there. Maybe he's milking his injuries a little bit more. Even though that's speculation and that's like all stuff made up by the media, I feel like I am leaning towards buying into that a little bit. Just because it makes so much sense and it seems like that's probably the case. It's just him and Brandon Ingram, right? So where's that going to go? Probably, they could be decent, but it's gonna, how far could Anthony Davis take them before? It's like I don't think New Orleans will ever win a championship or anything like that. So yeah, I mean, it might be best for everybody if he's just out of there. And then in terms of going to the Knicks, I would love it. The whole Julius Randle thing, I would assume if Zion goes, Julius is out, right? Most likely. But yeah, I would love for him to be there. It's just a matter of, even if it's not him necessarily being bad about his diet, like maybe his body is just like the way he's built, right? He's like super top heavy. He's got a lot of weight. Even like, let's say he cuts his fat percentage down to like the optimum number, he's still a heavy dude, and that's a lot for somebody's knees and ankles, especially to be playing basketball.
Exactly.
And he's a high flyer too, like
with his bounce. Exactly.
Like even in the best shape of his life, it's still a lot of wear and tear, for his legs. But if he's able to get over all that, then in the ideal world, yeah, that would be amazing if those three were together and playing in New York, because the fans would love it. I think the three of them would love it. I think if Tibbs is able to still stay there and be able to coach Zion and 3 of them, I think that's a really good fit too. So, I mean, that all sounds great. It's just a matter of it's everything speculation. Like, we need to see him be healthy. We need to see him on the court. And then, with his health comes the desire too. Like, how bad do you want to be, one of the best basketball players, because you can be.
All right, Roy, really quick. Let me ask you, how much of this is actually on Zion? How much of his injury and his situation is on him?
I think that's a great question, because I wish I could tell you the right answer, but I don't know, man. I think it's kind of more on the organization, to be honest with you, because don't get me wrong. I mean, Zion, and I loved how you said eating his way out of New Orleans, because I think that's exactly what's going on. And, is that his fault? I mean, yeah, I guess you could say that, but isn't also the organization's fault for not giving him what he wants, or taking care of the biggest prospect to come out in the past 10, almost 20 plus years? I mean, they're not taking care of him. They don't want. I don't think Zion wants to be there. I think that's pretty obvious. I mean, like what GK said, the food there, is he in the spot for that? That gumbo, that's a whole other story. Y'all getting me hungry. But look, so I think it might be nice for him to meet up. I mean, like how we said with Cam Reddish going to New York, those, and with RJ Barrett there, the Duke boys are back, man. They got to get up. I think they're trying to lure. I think that was a sneaky tactic by the Knicks. They're going to lure Zion and say, hey, look, remember when you guys were in college together? Remember when you guys were balling out together? Come do it here. And we got
city. Good food.
Yeah. New Orleans
in the world.
He's like, you want to play in New Orleans? You want to play in New Orleans, or you want to go prime time? You want to go New York City, the biggest arena, the biggest name team, the biggest franchise there is in USA sports.
The Mecca.
Come on. Yeah, exactly.
I think his family recognized that early on. That's why they wanted him initially to leave early.
Right. Yes. I mean, we'll have to see. But is it Zion's fault? I don't think you could say it. I don't think it's his fault.
Yeah, I mean,
if he goes to New York, then New York's going to glorify him as a god.
Yeah, he's split though. Yeah. I think it's both on the team and Zion. But back to you, Frank. What else you got for us with these hot topics that you spewing out?
Okay, now GK, you might want to stick with me, because this is in your field. This is in your field. Julius Randle and the relationship with the New York Knicks fans lately. Is that something that can be mended? Is that something that Julius Randle even wants? I mean, after posting 17, 12, and 8 last night, and a win against the Pacers, I mean, hopefully that can be a turning point and mending the relationship. But with him flipping the bird to the team, telling them shut the F up, but sort of kind of retracting it, but not all the way going back on it. I mean, is this something that can affect the team going forward? Is it something that's going to affect them in the playoffs? And just really quick before you guys give your take, just let me give my quick opinion on Knicks fans. Knicks fans are right up there with the Cowboys fans year after year, or especially when they have a decent team, with piling these unrealistic expectations upon your teams.
Yes.
And then you have with the Cowboys case, I mean, at least the Cowboys have the jewelry, they have the rings to warrant that type of attitude, to warrant that demand of greatness, of winning the championship. The Knicks haven't won since the 70s. They haven't won a championship since the 70s, and have just now but started to become relevant. And you got a star, and you start to boom. This is the reason why the Knicks fans can't get superstars. This is why superstars don't even want to entertain the idea of coming to this New York and let alone dealing with the media and all the other outside distraction that goes on within New York. Now you have to deal with your home court booing you whenever you have a bad night. I mean, if I'm Julius Randle, I mean, granted he wasn't playing, he wasn't having his best night, the night that he threw them the bird. He might have finished with 5 points, I believe, or something of that nature. It was a single digit finish. But still in all, this team, they just made the playoffs. They were at the same exact spot that they were last year, literally the same exact record. They were 20-21 going into at this point last year. They still have a chance to get better. They just made it. They just made the trade for Cam Reddish, and now you have a bad relationship with your best player. This is going to be a bad look on other players. Other players are going to take notice of this when it comes to free agency, when it comes to trying to attract those other top tier superstar players, super max players to come over and play with you. Unless you're a Zion and you have your fans and you have your friends over there, you have some type of foundation over there. Are you really looking forward to going to the New York Knicks at this point? So talk to me. You give me your opinion on the Julius Randle situation and how you think fans and players of the home court should react with each other.
So this has been my Julius Randle experience, right? I never wanted him. And then as soon as he was here, I wanted him gone. I never wanted him to begin with. Got here.
DK is on the roll with these hot takes.
Now I'm like, bro, now that he's here, I want him out. He's got this massive contract to do what? Like massive contract to do what? Get him out, right? So then as soon as I said that, the very next year, he threw the whole team on his back and he carried the city into the playoffs. And we made that whole run and had that success all because of him. It was all because of him. And so then I appreciated that. What I didn't appreciate was how the fans treated him after he did that for the fans. I think
what do you
that
mean?
I think he carried the team into the playoffs, and then on one day, and then the next day they're all like, Randall sucks, get him out of here, right? Okay. So I feel like you can't do that to a guy because of like the reasons that you said. Like you're gonna have somebody come over either in free agency or whatever, right? Or maybe someone we're trying to retain for the future, and they play their heart out. They exceed expectations. They play above and beyond their capabilities, right? To get the wins. And then, one day later they have a bad game and then all of a sudden you hate them again. Like you can't do that. You can't treat anybody.
Agree.
Yeah.
You can't treat anybody like that.
And guess what? Yeah, go ahead.
But here's the thing is like, ultimately, I don't think Julius Randle can be the guy, but I definitely think he could be part of a big three, or like I said it in the past, like he could be what Chris Bosh was on the Heat. Like, why couldn't he fill that type of role? I totally think he could. I don't think he can be the number one, no. But yeah, man, I think the fans' expectations are just too unrealistic. They want instant gratification 24/7, and it's unrealistic and unfair to anybody who goes there. Like, even if you had LeBron in his prime, or if we get Zion or whatever, like no matter who you get and no matter how well they do, if you lose tomorrow, the fans are just already all over you and there's zero patience. So I don't think New York's ever going to be successful with that type of formula unless, honestly, in my opinion, I think James Dolan has to go. But but yeah,
I tell you.
But
what I think all New York throw a parade
for another day.
But can the relationship be mended? Listen, if you're winning, everything goes away. So all the Knicks have to do is win, and the whole thing will be forgotten. Like if they win their way into the playoffs and can at least be competitive and at least, either take it to a game 7 or win in the first round, then I think, the fans will leave that in the past and it'll be fine in terms of the Julius Randle relationship. But if the losing keeps happening, if they don't make the playoffs, then no, I think it's just going to get worse.
Yeah. Yeah, no, seriously, that's how it is. I mean, that's basketball for you. And especially how you said it in the Mecca. I mean, that's how it is in New York. You know, expectations are high. Even though they haven't won since the 70s, expectations are still high. They don't even have to have a good team. They can have a decent team. And this is how you said how they are with Cowboys fans. This is our year. We're going all the way. That's how they are, man. That's how it is. And like repairing that relationship, I think it can be done. But I do think that's a turnoff to free agents. It's like, hey, why would I go there if these guys are going to boo me? I want to be loved at my own home court. You want to boo me when we're away? Cool. I'm an NBA player. Yeah. I don't know. I think James Dolan does need to go. And that's the first answer. But
my goodness.
I don't like James Dolan. I don't think he should be there.
Day.
Yeah, we'll save that one. We'll save that one.
Well, because the way James Dolan treats his retired players too, so it's like you got
for another day.
Exactly.
Yeah, we'll do another day.
You got shit from the GM.
James Dolan need his own segment.
Yeah, Julius Randle,
owner,
he'll be
his
all
own
right.
segment.
Taking shit from everybody.
Too much.
Julius Randle will be all right. He'll be okay.
So Roy, start us over.
Roy,
Go ahead, Frank.
Can I just ask Roy? I mean, do you guys, if they don't mend this relationship, how much do you think is going to affect them going forward into the playoffs, or maybe even playing in that play-in? Do you think that they'll still rally around him, or would it be more of a team thing? Will it be? Do you think it'll affect Julius Randle's game at the end of the day?
So what I think is, like, when it comes to fans,
talk to me, Roy.
When it comes to fans, like GK say, when you start winning, they're forgetful. They don't care no more. So it's like if the Knicks make the playoffs again this year, they ain't gonna care about what happened in the regular season months ago. Now the fans are focused on how do I help the team, not Julius Randle. How do I help the team succeed? Because it's a team sport, and
but I'm saying, how do you think it's gonna
pump
affect
everybody
Julius
up.
Randle though? Like,
I don't know if it
affect him going forward in the playoffs.
I don't know if it affects him, because like I said, it's a team aspect. So he might have we see NBA players. For him. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think, I think he could use it as motivation, because players always are looking for motivation and stuff like that. But I don't think it's that big of a deal that he thumbs down, told them to shut. They do that all the time. The Knicks fans are like
Randle
that.
Is mentally
the Knicks
enough,
listen, New York fans cheered. Who was it? Curry in the arena. So there's some weird fans out there, bro.
I think that was
the Knicks fans are known for being upset at one moment, and then the next day they're joyful. Yep. They're just like the Cowboy fans. As long as they win, they don't give a damn. They think they're gonna make it every year. But let's kick it over to Roy with your hot topics.
Okay, I got one for you guys. It's gonna be a little crazy, so bear with me, man. The Grizzlies are gonna represent the Western Conference in the NBA Finals.
Woo!
Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
Did you hear that? We sorry for your eardrums. That came through like.
Yes.
Damn.
Yes, the Grizzlies are going to represent the Western Conference in the NBA Finals. Yeah, let that sink in, man. I'm telling you, this might be a young team, but this team is firing on all cylinders, man.
That's a fire take.
It is a fire take, and you know what?
With gasoline.
When it comes later in the year,
premium,
and they're there, just know that I told you so, and you heard it here first on From the Sidelines. Just know that I predicted this. This team is firing all cylinders. They don't have the playoff experience, man, but oh my gosh, just watching it. If you have not watched a Grizzlies game, I don't know what you're doing. This is the hottest team to watch in basketball, man. They are so exciting and fun to watch, and if they carry how they play, I mean, they're beating top teams. It's not like they're just beating bottom of the barrel people. They're not just whooping on, oh, we're playing the Pelicans tonight, we're gonna whoop them. No, they're beating top tier teams, and they're doing it pretty handedly. I like this team coming into playoffs, man. I really do. John Morant, something else. When
you're done, we gotta kick it to GK. Just look at his face.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm still talking. I'm trying to see how much I can talk to make his face change more. That's what I'm doing.
His face shifted.
Yeah, that's fine. All right, you want to comment on that hot take? Go ahead, GK. The floor is yours.
I'm just looking up the stats real quick.
Go ahead.
Why you look up their stats? Go ahead, Frank.
That's definitely an NBA hot take. I'm not ready to put them in the championship. I think there'll be a dangerous matchup for anybody that they come across in the Western Conference, just because of their ability to play offense and defense. But we all know the playoffs especially especially the NBA players, is a whole different
monster.
beast. The game slows down. Defense is tougher. You have to be more effective in the half court sense, and that's where I don't think that's their strong point yet. They're more so of a tough transition team. Get out and run. Wear a team down by the fourth quarter. Just let Ja Morant take over. I'm not sure that'll be able to translate in the playoffs, but who knows? And then I'm not ready to make my championship takes really until after the trade deadline, because I see all of the pieces get moved, then everything will start to fall into place for me. But GK, you gotta talk to me, because that's definitely a hot take.
I
just changed twice. We gotta hear it.
I just had to look up some of these stats real quick to make sure that I didn't have to call somebody to go check on Roy, make sure.
Gotta feed
so I guess it's easy to say that when a team is on a 10-game winning streak or however many in a row. Like, oh yeah, they're going to the finals. I guess that's, you could say that, but I mean, we've seen teams do this in the past. Remember, the Hawks, even most recently, the Jazz.
Yeah.
But then when it comes time to the playoffs, and then you got a team in the Lakers that is LeBron James, Russell Westbrook, Carmelo Anthony, and they're, playing to either win and move on or lose and go home. And it's them against all these young guys. They're not about to let that happen. The regular season, they might not care much, but
I'm gonna play devil's advocate for you there, man, because if you've looked at the Lakers, their problem is playing the young guys. They struggle against the younger guys.
In a slowed down game.
Yes, in a slowed down game. That's great.
That's
great. As long as Russell Westbrook's on that team, don't matter. You said that that was a PowerPoint. That is not a PowerPoint. That is a
I think that's the key, because
Russell Westbrook is the key. I would agree.
Outside of the first game, the last two games against the Grizzlies were close up until the fourth quarter, and then it just happens to be turnovers, and then, like you said, the lack of defense, struggling with the youth, especially late in the stretch. That's where the Grizzlies, they can really hang their hat on wearing the good teams down, especially for late in the fourth quarter. But in a half court sense, where it's a half court game and everything is slowed down, if the Lakers can play at their pace at a half court game with a healthy Anthony Davis, I think there'll be a tough matchup for the Memphis Grizzlies. I wouldn't bank on the Grizzlies not winning, but it'd definitely be a tougher matchup it'd be a different matchup than what you guys are actually seeing right now.
The Grizzlies are, part of their success is because of how hard they play and their defensive effort and how good they are in defense, right? But
they say you can win 40 games just all playing hard. So
exactly. So they're going in, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Lakers are not. In my opinion, they're not giving you everything that they have.
Maybe LeBron is.
They're not unloading the clip. I think they're just trying to make sure they're not getting hurt. But then when they're playing there's no tomorrow, it's going to be a different story.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's a fair assessment, but I don't have any faith in this Lakers team, man. I really don't. I had faith in LeBron. I did not have faith in this Lakers team.
Right now, absolutely not.
Roy, any other hot takes?
I don't know. I gave you a pretty spicy one there.
Because I got one. It's my turn. I got one.
Go ahead.
I got one. The Nets are going to win the finals this year because Kyrie might be able to play full time now.
True.
Kyrie might be heading towards a full-time reinstatement, right? So it's either two ways. So the Nets are the report came out that the Nets are a little confident that they'll have Kyrie for the remainder of the season, but to play all the games, like home games and away games. Now, one of the ways I know they can do this that I read, I'm not sure of the other way, because it is another way I think that they said they could do it, but if they pay the fines for Kyrie to pay. So first time would be a warning, second time would be 1,000 or something, 2,000, 3,000, and then it maxes out at 5,000 every time the violation is committed. So if the Nets are willing to pay the fine, Kyrie will be able to play. So if Kyrie, and then I'm saying this, I'm even going a little bolder than what Roy did. Even if Kyrie plays away games only, I don't see who can stop the Nets with James Harden full health, KD full health, and then, you know, if LaMarcus Aldridge is playing up to what he needs to play up to help the team with Patty Mills and the rest of them guys. I think they have a team that people are sleeping on, but I think Kyrie gives them a factor, and we kind of talked about this in another episode, that if he does have to play 4 away games, I think they'll be a little happier with that. But now it's seeming like he might be able to play all 7 games if they go to 7 games. So what are you guys' thoughts on that?
Well, to be honest, I think that this is if they can get Kyrie for the rest of the season, barring the restrictions, I think this is the Nets' best chance. This would be their best chance to win the NBA championship. I mean, right now with the way that with Golden State having a healthy Clay, I think once Clay comes back, I mean, he's actually like 100% ready to go as far as
that dunk
energy wise. Yeah,
that
I mean, once he
first night, that showed me he was ready. I was watching.
I'm just talking about conditioning wise.
Yeah, once you get back in game
wise, and
the game
exactly.
flow.
Once you get back
game
in the
speed.
game conditioning,
yeah,
game speed, exactly. I think that they're going to be tough. They're going to be super tough, and
I think that's the matchup.
All about whether.
Warriors,
but it's all about whether
Nets.
those guys can whether they can stay healthy, whether it be Steph, whether it be Clay, whether it be Draymond.
Yeah. KD
they seem to always have to get hit with the injury bug.
But Frank, that goes for both ends
too,
because you know James Harden and KD these last couple of years have dealt with some injuries, and Kyrie himself too.
But let me tell you this: as long as it's not Kyrie or KD that's hurt, I still trust the Nets to make it to the playoffs. Fair. I trust the Nets making it to the playoffs more with Kyrie and KD than I do with James Harden and KD. Because James Harden has been known to go super ice cold and be super inconsistent, especially in clutch moments. So I definitely want a guy like Kyrie who can get to the paint, who can create mismatches, create opportunities for everybody else, and just his presence on the court is enough to just help guys get over that extra hump. So I mean, I still have them as a favorite, but if the Lakers can happen to make a move, I know is looking almost impossible to move,
like a month left
Russell Westbrook right? Because of his and we also hear it's getting reports around the league that he has a low trade value anyway. So hopefully if they can make another move, the Lakers can get completely 100% healthy. I mean, I'm still not ready to throw in the towel on my Lakers yet, but the Nets would definitely be a favorite in the East to make the playoffs, especially seeing what they just did to the Chicago Bulls.
Hey, and what James Harden say after that? We're just that good.
Mm-hmm.
What you looking at, GK? What you got?
I can't argue against it, man.
That's what I like to hear.
Just because, like, and honestly, the only thing I would have to say is I think Harden is more important than Kyrie to have, but when you have all three of them, it's just so much offense. It's just so much.
But tell me why you think James is more important. Why you think he's more valuable to the Nets' success than Kyrie?
I do.
Please.
I do. I don't know. I just think if I'd rather have a teammate, it'd rather be Harden, in my opinion. I think he's going to adapt to the whole playoff issues that he's had historically.
I mean, look who he has for signing. He has to.
Exactly.
He doesn't have a choice.
No other choice.
I think there's an evolution there. So I'm not. It doesn't concern me. The only concern I do have is like, I think Giannis can answer the bell.
Giannis versus KD, Kyrie.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know about that.
That's a little.
I respect your take.
Yeah.
Trust me, I respect it. But, that's tough.
I'm not saying.
Who are you gonna
I'm
say?
not saying like
Giannis, Drew Holiday, and Chris Middleton.
About to send you some hot pockets for these hot
listen.
takes.
I'm not saying that that's what's gonna happen.
Gotta
I'm
put the
just
burnt
saying
toast
like
away.
Giannis is the guy. I would take him over any one of those three.
Oh, you crazy. I'm not taking Giannis
It's
over
the
KD.
fact. It's the fact that those three are all together on the same team.
GK has hot takes flying all around today's show.
Yo,
Thank you
I'm
for
telling
coming back,
I see a
GK.
whole bunch of smoke.
We appreciate you coming back with all this fire. You've been away just smoking on these packs, huh? You just been like, I can't wait to get back on the show.
Dude, yeah, I mean, listen.
You made Roy walk away, bro.
Every adversity that they said about Giannis, everything that they said was wrong with him or that they can't win in Milwaukee, he's overcome all of it.
Come on.
He can't.
That's
he can't handle the ball. He handles the ball now. He can't shoot.
Do you give him full credit though?
He can't win. He won.
No.
Right?
Full credit.
He don't have enough weight. Gain weight. Huh?
Do you give him enough credit? I mean, do you still give him that credit with Kyrie being out, beating that Kyrie-less Nets? Do you still give him that full credit for beating that Nets team?
Listen, talent's all good and great on paper and in the regular season, but then when it comes down to like who's the bigger and better man and who's got more balls, it's Giannis.
I wouldn't argue with you. I wouldn't argue,
but I'm not arguing
toughness wise.
I'm not arguing on this
I definitely
episode.
wouldn't argue. I'm not sure I'm ready to take him before I take the Slim Reaper.
Giannis.
No, I mean, listen.
KD is going to be a topic on this show now.
The Nets, I think the Nets are more likely to move on past them because the talent disparity is that great on offense.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. I agree.
Anybody, Roy? What you got? Roy?
I'm checked out.
He said he's done. He said
he got me with that Giannis. He caught me so off guard with that one.
Man. Oh man. All right, let's move on. Let's get into it. All right, we close to the end of this, and you know we can only end the show off the right way with who you got.
Oh, we're back.
Can you guys see it? Let me know if you guys can see it. All right.
Yes, sir.
We jumping right into this one. You guys at home, the ones that's listening on Apple Music Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify. If you don't know how it works, I'm going to give them two people and they got to tell me who they got out of the two people. They could use their own logics. Ain't no logic behind it. Whatever they want to pick, how they pick it, that's how they pick it. All right. So we're going to start it off, man. The first one. All right. This one we're doing MVPs. All right. From both football and basketball. The first one, I got to get on this screen. Sorry. The first one is Nikola Jokic in 2021 or Russell Westbrook's in 2017. Who do you got?
Westbrook.
Ooh.
Westbrook. I'm not a Westbrook fan, but averaging a triple-double. I take Westbrook.
DK Frank, who you got?
I'm going Jokic.
Okay, we got a split already.
Everything
GK,
Jokic is doing at the center position, it was amazing to see him.
It was.
He definitely deserved it. He was getting triple doubles as well from the center position.
Correct.
Yeah, but not like Russell. What you got, G?
Yeah, not as much as not to the extent of Russ, but to be able to put up triple doubles. How many centers you see nowadays just throwing up triple doubles, especially as many as he did?
I agree with you.
GK, who you got?
To you, GK.
This is real close because I'm a fan of both. And honestly, I think that they each were just as valuable to those teams, respectively. Either team would have just not been anything without either of them. So at that point, it comes down to preference, and I'm more of a fan of Westbrook, so I'll go Westbrook.
Okay.
All right, 2-1 split. All right, next one. We got Barry Sanders in 1997. This is the only 1991 I used. All right, 1997 on Marshall Funk in 2000. All right, I'm getting better at this. I'm getting better at it.
Hold on.
I'm getting better at it. All right.
That's tough. Marshall Falk was another breed, man.
To have a tough one this early at number 2.
Yeah, you got.
I'll go.
Who you got, G?
I got Barry. I think Marshall Falk's super overrated because I mean, look at the team.
The more fire takes, he's not done.
I thought we were done with the fire takes.
Cheetos.
Look at the team. Look at the teams they were on. Barry was on the Lions. Marshall was on the greatest show on turf. If you flip-flop places,
1,000-yard rusher on
not even close. Not even on the same conversation.
1,000-yard rusher on the Colts.
Yeah, I mean, he was good on the Colts, yeah, but he wasn't as good as Barry on the Lions.
Okay, as much as I'd take Barry. I would take Barry, but I don't think they're far away, especially with Marshall Faulk's MVP season as well.
All right, and that's what we're going off. We're going off of the MVP seasons. All right, so that's what you're judging them off for. Which one you rather have? All right, so down to you, Frank.
Yeah, if I'm going MVP season, because I was about to Barry Sanders he's like top 3 all-time favorite running backs for me. But if we just go in the season, I'm definitely going with Marshall Faulk.
That's why I think it's close.
Season. He was the engine for that the greatest show on turf.
Y'all ready for this next one?
Wait, real quick. Let me just put that into perspective for you, though. If you
20 seconds.
If you had Falk play out the season, Barry's season of MVP, and then you had Barry play out Falk's season in his MVP on each other's teams, like, I don't think that Falk would have still won MVP in Barry's shoes. Barry still would have won MVP in Falk's shoes.
Okay.
All right, next question. Shaq's MVP in 2000 or Kevin Garnett's in 2004? Who you got?
Oof.
Someone else go first.
I'm begging it. It's a banger.
I'm going KG.
Big ticket.
I'm going KG.
Who you got, GK?
He was able to be the number 1 in the West with the Timberwolves.
Timberwolves.
MVP with the Timberwolves. They had them at the number 1. Yeah.
I gotta go KG.
Come on, GK. Give us our first unanimous.
Come on, give in.
I don't know, man. I think it was easier for KG to put up those stats because everybody else on his team was trash.
Yeah. Oh, Michael Oliver Candy was trash.
I feel it's split here.
Well, think about Kevin Love on the Timberwolves and how good his stats were, because the rest of the team was trash.
He's translated to wins, though.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I agree. And no, that is super impressive, but like, Shaq is Shaq. And what I just can't bring myself to picking Shaq over KG. I mean, it's picking KG over Shaq at anything. So
another split.
Just that season. We just talking about the seasons, not the players.
It's the first Frank Roy split.
Right. Okay. No, I see what you're saying, Frank. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, that season. All right, we good. Next one is Kurt Warner, 2001. Or Peyton Manning in 2003. Who you got?
I hate to answer on emotions because
Troy, if you can, do you got the stats on Peyton Manning that year?
I can check them real quick.
I'll go ahead while he's looking that up. I'll go ahead and give you my answer. I gotta say, Kurt Warner. Everything's so emotional with Kurt Warner. Just his whole entire story and everything. Man, if being undrafted, if coming to where he was, if you get an MVP, come on, man. Come on. I would say stats wise. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Grocery coming from bagging groceries.
Bagging groceries to winning MVPs. Come on. That's more
what
impressive.
What do you want to know from that season?
Peyton Manning stats.
I'll go.
Go ahead.
So I'm definitely a huge fan of both and Kurt Warner's story, and I think that's impressive, but I don't think you should factor that into this question when we're isolating, like you just said with the Shaq and KG thing that made me think. So you're just talking about their MVP season, in a box, and that's it. So I don't think you factor in the fact that he was bagging groceries. I don't think you can use that.
I'm not using his career. I'm not using his career. I'm going just based on the fact that man won an MVP that year, and that was the most impressive, most valuable to me.
Right,
stats wise, I give it to Peyton. It's not even close.
Frank.
Right, but I think the teams around them, I think Kurt's team was a lot better, and it was a lot easier.
Fair enough.
Hold your thoughts. Frank, you got to unmute yourself. Don't know why you muted yourself, but you're talking to somebody. All right.
Yeah, I think you could go either way on this one, though.
And I just think that Peyton's teams in Indianapolis were always severely overrated. I literally think he was the sole reason that they had their success, because if you just remove him, they win. Literally, it happened. He broke his neck, and then they won what, 1 game or 0 games? 1 game, I think.
Sorry, man. I was talking to my in-laws.
I think they won 1 game, right? So, in my opinion, the rest of his team was really that trash, and so I think it was more impressive because I think even though I love
with Peyton Manning,
yeah, even though I love Kurt and he did awesome, I think they still would have had success had Kurt gotten hurt and went down. I think the rest of the team was still so good that they still would have had success.
All right, so let me get his stats to Frank real quick so we can move on.
Yeah, let me hear that.
He went 12-4 that year. He completed 379 passes. He had 67% completion rating. He threw for 4,267 yards. He had 29 touchdowns with 10 interceptions. Anything else you want to know?
Nah, yeah, I'm definitely going Kurt. I thought I was hoping maybe the numbers were something crazy. Maybe I changed my mind on Kurt, but yeah, nah. With everything that went behind Kurt, winning his story, his play, winning the Super Bowl against my Titans, I can't go against Kurt Warner.
All right, next one is Kobe Bean Bryant in 2008 or Derrick Rose in 2011. So I wanted to throw you guys an easy one. All right, I wanted to throw you guys an easy one. It should be easy. Who you guys got?
Okay, Derrick Rose.
Oh, fuck.
No, I'm messing with you. No, Kobe. I knew which one you were going for, which was the right answer.
You trying to throw my unanimous out the door.
I'd say Kobe.
Who you got, GK?
I think it's closer than you guys think.
Another fire take. Here we go.
It might be close, but which one do you have?
Which one do you have? Who you got?
Who you got?
Who you got?
It's
Who you got, Frank?
It's hard for me to not pick Kobe.
Kobe Bean.
All right, so unanimous.
Unanimous. Good.
Thank you. All right, the next one I got for you is
Rose
Gannon.
Super impressive though.
I got Rich Gannon, 2002. Or I think you said his name, Sean Alexander.
Sean Alexander.
I'll never pick Alexander for anything.
He said, "I'll never pick him for anything."
Trash, straight trash, homie.
So Rich Gannon. GK Rich
GK is on a roll today.
GK Rich Gannon.
Sean Alexander was ass. Now stand by that. Ass.
Fire take. See, you can only get these fire takes right here at From the Sideline podcast. All right.
How you want an MVP in your ass?
Bro, who did he run behind? Hall of Fame left guard, Hall of Fame left tackle. What play did they run?
You can say the same thing for Emmitt Smith.
Dive.
Yeah, I can.
They ran the HB dive.
Listen.
Run left. Come on, we gotta move along, guys.
Run left.
All right, we gotta move along.
All right, Sean Alexander. What's yours? We gotta move along.
GK,
Walter Jones, Steve Hutchinson. Walter Jones, Steve Hutchinson.
Don't talk about that one.
All right, Frank, who you got?
Show me a Sean Alexander highlight. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't truck people. He doesn't.
Frank, you got Sean Alexander too.
Frank, who you got?
Sean Alexander.
Frank, you got
Sean Alexander.
2-1.
All right, GK, you going Rich Gannon.
Jerry Moss, Tim Brown.
The next one is because we got to move along, guys. We got to move along. Allen Iverson 2001 and Steve Nash 2005 MVP. Who you got?
AI.
Yeah, I think this is easy. AI.
Frank AI.
Yeah, and I love Steve Nash. Steve Nash is one of my favorite players ever. But
all right, can we not have
too much debate around
no more fire takes? All right.
Yeah.
Next one is Steve McNair.
Nah, keep them coming.
Steve McNair 2003 or LaDainian Thomason in 2006.
LT.
Oh,
easily.
LT.
Easily.
Frank LT.
Oh, we're not just gonna say LT.
Easily.
Who you got?
Don't disrespect Thomas.
I refuse to answer this question.
I just want to know who you got.
I refuse to answer.
Who you got?
So
because
unanimous
he knows
LT.
the truth.
Yeah, so unanimous LT.
You going Steve McNair?
Oh,
come on.
Frank,
you gotta give me 1 second.
That's just out of loyalty. That's just out of loyalty. That's not.
What you say, Frank?
Give me 1 second. My in-laws here, real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, I can keep going. I'm gonna jump right in, hop right in when I come back.
All right. So the next one we got is Steve Nash and Steph Curry. Steve Nash 2006, Steph Curry 2015. Who you got?
Steph.
I can hear you, but I can't talk. But I can't see you.
Yeah, just tell me who you got then. Steve Nash or Steph Curry? Steve Nash 2006, Steph Curry 2015.
Steph.
All right,
GK?
2 for Steph.
I'm going Steph.
Steve.
All right.
Oh man.
Another split.
Another fire take. All right, next one. We got
I would have
Peyton
said Steve
Manning.
05.
We got Peyton Manning 2004, Tom Brady 2007.
That was the record-setting year. I'm going Tom.
DK?
This is really tough for me.
I gotta, this is a tough one for me too.
Tom had Randy Moss, so
I'm
gonna go with Tom. That's a tough one though. That's a very tough one.
these two.
Who you got, GK?
That's this. G3. Oh yeah. Thank you.
Shit.
Poker, they're getting the clock out.
The White
Poker,
Claws
they're getting
too.
the clock out for you, GK.
Yeah.
They want it timed.
I guess. Shit.
You know you're taking Tom Brady.
That was
You could throw it on top, so you gotta walk up.
All right.
23 times was to Moss, but I guess you still have to.
Hey, you gotta give it to me. All right, next one. We got Tim Duncan 2002 and Dirk Nowitzki 2007. Who you got? Dirk. Roy.
Dirk.
Yep.
Frank.
Yep. I'm a one tripper. Huh? I'm sorry, guys. Repeat it.
Tim Duncan 2002, Dirk Nowitzki 2007. Who you got?
Timmy.
Oh, you taking Tim?
Right.
Not another split.
Timmy D.
Roy and GK pick Dirk. All right, next one is Cam Newton in 2015 or Patrick Mahomes in 2018.
Who you said? I heard Patrick Mahomes. Who you said the first one?
Cam Newton 2015, Patrick Mahomes 2018. Who you got?
Cam.
I said Cam.
Oh, unanimous on Cam. All right, the next one is a good one.
Yeah.
LeBron James in 2009 or Giannis Antetokounmpo in 2019. Antetokounmpo. All right.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Giannis.
I'm going King, man.
All right, got a split.
That was the Miami one, right? His first one in Miami.
Yeah, his first one.
Yeah.
This is so everybody I used, it was always their first one. I didn't use nobody 2 times.
Giannis.
So I used them already. GK, who you got?
09 was year 1 in Miami, or what year was it?
I think it was year 1 in Miami, if I'm not
year
mistaken.
1.
Let me look it up real quick. LeBron stats.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think it was the first year in Miami.
Or it was Giannis from 2 years ago?
Yeah, Giannis was in 2019, yeah. His first one. I didn't use anybody's second one or anything like that. So in 2009. No, 2009, he was still on Cleveland.
Yeah, so I'm going Giannis.
Oh, Frank is changing his answer to Giannis.
I want Giannis as well.
His damn name down.
I'm sorry. Yeah, that's what I needed to find out what year it was.
Who you going,
It wasn't his
GK?
first
You
year
got
in Miami.
GK.
That's interesting because if it was his Miami year, I was going to say Giannis hands down.
Nah, it's LeBron's first ever.
Right, but the
MVP.
fact that it's Cleveland, the Cleveland team was so bad.
So you're going LeBron.
But Giannis's team wasn't that good either.
Hadn't Bron won the MVP prior to that or no?
No.
No, that was his
year.
first MVP,
Yeah,
and that
his
was
first
with
year.
the trash Cleveland Cavaliers. So
All right,
I
you're on the
think
clock
it's more-
again.
LeBron, I got LeBron.
All right, LeBron. All right, next one should be fun. It's a little different, but we got AP, Adrian Peterson 2012, or Lamar Jackson 2019.
AP.
Yeah.
Frank?
Why are y'all disrespecting Lamar Jackson? It's got to be Lamar.
AP.
All right, DK and Roy for AP and Frank for Lamar. And then just let you guys know, if you're watching at home, bro, you guys want to play along, comment who you would take down in the comments, all right? Let us know who you guys would take. All right. The next one is Kevin Durant in 2014 or his teammate now, James Harden in 2018. Who you got?
KD.
Harden.
Oh. Frank?
It's a close one.
KD.
KD with the split. All right, last one.
That speech was fucking teary-eyed.
I wanted to end off on an easy note. So we got the man Aaron versus Manny.
Matty Ice.
We got Aaron in 2011. And we got Matty Ice in 2016. Who you got?
You stupid.
Aaron.
All right. So final thoughts.
Shout out to him too. Aaron.
So final thoughts.
Wait, that was Matt Ryan's Super Bowl run or no?
I believe so, yeah.
Yes. He had a great year.
Yeah, Matt Ryan easily.
Aaron.
Who you going, Roy?
Aaron.
You going Aaron? Somebody please send this clip to Aaron.
And I hate Matt Ryan and I love Rodgers, but I think Matt Ryan.
All right, guys, and that concludes another Who You Got, man. These guys love this segment. I love this segment. It's always fun doing this segment with you guys. I'm getting better at it because I had you guys early. I got you guys early. But yeah, we at the final thoughts point. We got to wrap it up, man. We got to get up out of here. So GK, final thoughts.
I don't.
He said, I don't know. Just have a good day.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with mine, man. I hope my Steelers pull it out, man. Send Bendoff right. Let's get it going, baby. Let's play these Titans and whip their ass. Let's go.
Frank, final thoughts.
Your final thoughts, y'all. I'm actually on the same board as boy Roy. I'm hoping the Steelers pull out an upset. It'd be dope to see both of our teams.
Be a good game.
Absolutely. I think we'll have a lot of shit to talk heading into it.
Mm-hmm.
And keep you guys keep your eyes on everything as far as the trade deadline, man. It might be some spicy moves being made before this All-Star game, man. Just keep an eye on a lot of things, man. It could be a lot of big moves that can turn a lot of big teams around.
Zion might move.
Keep your eyes on it. And then one more time, if you got a chance to, Roy, you can repeat the question to the viewers.
Yeah, I am. I got you.
Who came on late.
I got you. So my final thoughts is, man, we want to just thank you guys for listening, man. That's my final thoughts.
GK. Oh, yeah, no, GK said nothing.
Yeah, GK said he ain't had none. You got something, GK? You want to go before I go? All right, go ahead, GK.
Just for New York fans, like, they need to chill out. Like how we were talking about with the whole Randall situation.
For real.
New York fans just need to chill out in general. Like, I and the whole thing with even like the Giants too. I think they need to chill out because I think Judge should have deserved a little more time.
Guys listening on Spotify, Google, and Apple, that's coming from a Jets fan.
they keep firing their coach after 2 years. So just the impatience of fans. But it goes for Jets fans too. All New York sports teams. It's just like. It only takes one play, one game.
But that's the diehardness in our heart, GK. That's the blood that pumps in us.
You gotta have realistic.
Right, it's not realistic. It's not realistic, and you'll never win championships with that mentality.
No, we ain't playing.
It's just gonna be
from a fan point of view. We ain't playing.
Wrap us up, Troy.
All right, man. My final thoughts is we want to thank you guys at home for watching on YouTube. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and like button, man. Leave us a comment. Don't forget to answer, who you got or the questions. If you guys knew the answer, comment them answers down below. Don't wait till I see the answer and then be like, oh, I know the answer and write it down. Because I don't know. All right. We want to thank you guys over on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify for listening over there. You guys can rate the podcast. So make sure you give us a rate. And don't forget, we are doing a giveaway. If you made it this far, the question is, let me get it. I won my only MVP after one guy won 2 back-to-back. So if you know the answer, run over to Instagram, make sure you follow us over there, write the answer on the picture that has an 18 in it, and you win the gift card, all right? But without further ado, man, this is From the Sideline Podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in, man, and we out. Peace.
Peace.